Grow Great is a city government leadership podcast with Lisa Norris and me, Randy Cantrell. Each week we share insights, experiences, and wisdom to help you and your leadership grow great. Our website is growgreat.com.
Well, it's the week of Christmas 2024. Randy and I are bright-eyed and bushy-tailed at 7:30 this morning on a Monday. Right, Randy?
Speak for yourself.
Randy's probably going on a whole 2 hours of sleep, so he's in a good place. But we're excited to be here. Want to obviously say thank you to so many listeners that have helped give us energy, and hopefully you all have provided a lot of nice comments. We hope to continue contributing to just perspective and sharing with you guys. But we thought we'd take a quick moment, sometimes just sharing our personal stuff, and we call it pulling back the curtain. That gets us a lot of interest from you listeners. So we thought we'd just talk about a little bit about traditions that we do personally in our families, and then share what we've done at work that's inexpensive. If you aren't one that has a lot of ideas of what to do with your staff at Christmas, thought we'd share that too. But I'll turn it over to Randy first. And Randy, you have anything in your family that you've done at Christmas that just even you and Rhonda, or you did with the kids, that was fun? Favorite story? Anywhere you'd like to go with it?
You know, we've been empty nesters for 25 years or more.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
You know, so, which is hard to imagine. And yes, we were ridiculously young parents, and we're young grandparents, which is cool.
Yeah.
You know,
get us while we're good.
Yeah. You know, the oldest,
while we have energy.
Yeah. The oldest grandson is a high school senior. So yeah, so there's that. So it's just been me and Rhonda for that long, right. You know, because the kids would go to their spouses, you know, the families, which are both in Oklahoma. And, you know, so Rhonda and I've been accustomed to it just being us for a long, long time. And no tradition. People used to pick at us because instead of turkey for like Thanksgiving, you know, we do tacos.
Yeah. Yeah.
Which people in Texas can relate to, but people outside of Texas look at you like you've grown a third head. You know, tacos. Tacos for Thanksgiving, like, yeah.
Hey, it's easy and fast.
Yeah, exactly. And they're tacos.
That's right. Who doesn't like a taco?
Yeah. So no, there really isn't anything, you know, which is going to burst everybody's bubble. But no, it's just it's quiet. It's quiet, reflective time. Now you got to keep in mind, I was running retail companies until, you know, 15 years ago or so. Mm-hmm. So all of my life, November, December, and January, just don't even try to reach me. Don't book anything.
Right.
There's nothing social.
That's your busy time.
Yeah. There's nothing. Nothing is going to happen on a personal level in those months unless it's urgent.
Right.
You know, because I'm locked and loaded.
Yeah.
Because you're working all year. That really is your fourth quarter.
Sure.
Financially. And so I was never accustomed to even having the time. Mm-hmm. And the problem with that is everybody else does. But, you know, you're just running 1,000,000 miles an hour while everybody else is kind of kicking back. And I would see that frustrate people who weren't as steeped in the industry as I was. So that history, I'm sure has a role to play. There is around New Year's, our wedding anniversary, which is really kind of the apex, you know, for us, is January the 2nd.
Okay.
And it was January the 2nd. Everybody ribbed me when I was young and we got married. Said, well, you're not getting the tax benefit. You should do it before the end of the year. And I'm like, I'm working retail. I don't have time, you know. I mean,
I can't marry her during that time.
So I had to take the time off when I could. You know, for us, that's kind of the deal. There's a church meeting that we go to around New Year's every year. We're going again this year. You know, it's a Southern New Year's meeting. It's in
Mhm.
Brookhaven, Mississippi, of all places. And so we're going to head there this weekend. And it's cool. You sing in the new year,
Yeah.
everybody just sings these hymns that you just grew up listening to and you know by heart. And I've done that since I was a kid.
Yeah.
I mean, my parents took me to those kinds of meetings. And so I would say that's probably our biggest tradition. I know
Now, how
you
do you do
guys,
exchanges on gifts? You and Rhonda, do you each just do something? Do you do nothing and buy what you want? Everybody does something different
We
at
don't-
our age,
yeah,
right?
we don't do anything. And again, because our anniversary is so close, it's our focal point is at January 2nd,
Yeah. Yeah.
because it's just, I don't know.
Yeah.
She gets what she wants. I get what I want.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, there's nothing special about that. I've already got her. So some packages came the other day, and she's like, "Well, what are those? What did you order?" And I said, "It's none of your business until January the 2nd." So she gave me that look like, "Well, I haven't done anything," which
Oh, that sounds like me. Don plans like months in advance and orders fantastic stuff. And I'm like ours is in August, and I'm like on August, it's 13th. On August 12th, I'm like, crap, I probably should go get something. I'm going to have to just go to Ross and hope they have something.
Yeah. Don and I are on the same page.
He orders very cute, like stuff that pops open with confetti and has our pictures on it. And
good for him.
Oh my gosh, he does great things.
We're old, so I'm practical. Now it's not practical like, a vacuum cleaner, but it's practical in the stuff that I know she likes and that she wants, but she's like, yeah, but I'm not going to spend the money, on that. But I know she would like it. So
yeah.
I've got most of it assembled. I don't mean assembled, but I've got the stuff that I got one thing that I'm still waiting on that I don't know if it's going to make it or not, but we'll see. And then we do not take on debt. We do not spend more than we should, so
Sure.
we're real practical people in that regard. But yeah, I'm like Don. I'm a hopeless romantic and real sentimental, and Rhonda's neither one of those things.
Me neither. So it's so interesting, and that as we've talked more over the years, we are so aligned as couples. I mean, so similar in so many ways. But do you have a favorite maybe memory at Christmas with the kids, with family, with some present you got or you gave? Was there just a favorite that kind of stands out over the years?
No, I mean, it's more of an experience. So I'm a little kid in Ada, Oklahoma, small town in Oklahoma. And I was telling the grandsons the other day, the oldest grandsons, they're in high school. And I said, you know what we ought to do? We ought to go caroling. Well, they looked at me like I, was out of my mind. And I said, oh, man, we used to go caroling. I said, in little Ada, Oklahoma, little towns, Main Street is cool during the holidays in small towns. Because they just go all out. The storefronts go all out, and
it's like a throwback.
Yeah, and there's there's parades, and so we had all of that when I was a kid. And you'd go caroling. You just knock on the door, and they open the door, and y'all just you just burst out in these Christmas carols, and other people would do it. I mean, your people would knock on your door, and that doesn't happen anymore. So,
you knock on a door, nobody's going to answer. They're like, "What are these people doing in front of my house?"
Yeah, exactly. Well, or they're going to pull a weapon on you.
At least in Texas.
Yeah, exactly, and Oklahoma.
Yeah, exactly.
But that experience stands out. Probably just because of my age and the nostalgia of it. But yeah, presents not so much. But that experience was really cool.
Well, we have a lot of small towns that are listening, and we just got back from Illinois, and it's a small town. I couldn't tell you the population. Don's brother and his sister both live up there, close to Geneseo, within 15 minutes of one another. I think one's Kelowna and one's Geneseo. But what's interesting there, you talk about small towns, and we didn't go see it this particular time, but on the past Saturday when we were there, they have live windows. So imagine a very small town with one strip,
Yep.
and they're little, like the Hallmark store is called Pegasus, and I love going in there. Everything's super expensive, but it's really unique things.
Yeah.
And it's all, of course, decked out in Christmas, and they're in sections of like maybe all the leopard stuff is in one section, and all the angels and crosses are in this. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
All the little houses that light up are in a section. Well, they do live windows, and they have a parade, like you said.
Right.
So they go on this parade, but in the windows, it's live scenes with people like humans.
Right.
And they move around and do some scene in the windows. And for such a small town, it's they just talk about it up there. They're like, oh no, everybody in town goes, because it's little kids in the windows and they're all dressed up, and each
it's a big
they
production.
give awards for it. Yeah, all these cool things. So I thought that was pretty cool for a small town to do. I never heard of that before, but it was really, they said it's just fantastic and everybody goes. But that particular Saturday, of course, they got weather. It's north. Right. So it started raining and was supposed to ice over. And we had a get together. We did what we call cookie day. So we went up there, and all the cousins, nieces, aunts, uncles that are close, we all come and gather about 9:30 in the morning. It was Saturday. You bring your own cookie recipe and ingredients, whatever you want to make. And we all just play Christmas music, decorate, whatever, all day. I mean, we are cooking batches of cookies, and then we all get Tupperware, and then you go pick through a little of everything to take home. And so, needless to say, we had a lot of sugar on the way home Sunday.
Yeah, y'all are hyped up on sugar and caffeine.
We are. We had made that 12-hour ride nothing.
Right. Yeah, it's a good way to go.
But it was really fun, and that was something cool they did in town. And then the other thing from my memories, I love the time, like you said, with Dawn. So Dawn and I do exchange. We, for years now, we're empty nesters ourselves, and our home's in Oklahoma, so we're further away. But typically we would do on Christmas Eve, we would do chicken fried steak. I make homemade chicken fried steak with the venison, mashed potatoes, gravy. And then everybody comes over and we open one gift, because all, the grandkids, that's kind of our time together, because I wanted the families doing their thing and not feeling the pressure
right
on Christmas Day to try to get over and make time and all that, when they all lived in the area. So that was our kind of fun time. And then on Christmas morning, forever, probably, I don't know, 20 or 30 years, probably even longer than that, because the kids are in their 30s now, I have made homemade sticky buns. So I raise the dough, roll butter, cinnamon,
I need
sugar.
to come to your house just for
I
the
know. Food. And Don goes, we are still having sticky buns in Oklahoma, right? I said, yes, babe, I got everything.
Yeah.
But, and I roll it, and it's the homemade caramel my grandma taught me how to make. And then you put the pecans in the bottom, cook it, and it all rises. And then you flip them over, and all that gooiness goes straight through. And it is so good. And so we do that Christmas Day, and then I make
sugar's a big player in Christmas for y'all.
Yeah, of course. And we make I have sugar cookies, and then we have apple cider. And it's interesting, I love apple cider, but the old days we used to have the clear apple cider that looks like apple juice that you can get everywhere. You can't get that anymore. It's all that concentrated with all I call it debris in it. It's got all the pulp, and it's not clear. It doesn't strain well. I don't think it tastes good. So I told Don's on the lookout for trying to find some clear pure apple cider. Really hard to find, but it's a spice cider, and for the adults you put rum in it, and it is fantastic. It's called hot buttered rum.
Yeah.
And so it's apple cider with cloves and allspice, cinnamon, nutmeg, brown sugar, and then you put a dollop of real butter in your mug, and it melts on oh my gosh, it's like eating
that sounds
English toffee with of course. By the time Christmas is over, Don and I are toast. We're just like fat, full, and sugared up.
Yeah, of course.
Our sugar high is worn off by noon.
My youngest grandson discovered eggnog. Like,
I have never had eggnog.
I have never, but he will just down it. So I looked at it. I looked at the carton, and I'm like, You know how many calories that? I mean, it's just I don't know. I don't know what all's in it.
Randy,
I don't know.
kids don't even know what calories are.
I, I
So
don't. Yeah, I don't know enough. But this kid was just down in it, and I said, I think you just drank about 3,000 calories. You know.
I
So
know.
his dad just started dogpiling on him because he just discovered this magical drink, this magical
Oh my gosh.
milk drink. So
Yeah,
yeah,
it's interesting, and you know, our when we exchange, it's funny because you know, Don, of course, and he'd share, I think, with you, but he didn't have they didn't have a lot as kids. I mean, he's the baby of 13. Four of his siblings, he really are his half. I think they're half. He didn't even know them. It was from his dad's former marriage, but nine of the family were close, you know, still, and so they didn't get a lot. So it was always fun for us just to give the kids, even if we gave them coloring books and colors, we wrapped everything separate, so there was a lot to open because we didn't have a lot, but
right.
we tried to make you know, the experience of gifting, because he just didn't get that. You know, he'd get one thing under the tree or whatever, and that's fine. I'm
Yeah.
not saying you have to do a lot,
Right.
but that was something that we tried to do. And now it's funny because you were talking about Rhonda being practical. I'm practical. So I had in my list, we do Christmas lists on Amazon. All year long, we're just putting our favorite stuff we find in there. Dawn's is all these real cool trinkets and gadgets and
Right.
just stuff that's cool. My list is new Ninja cookie pan,
Right.
a Corningware with a glass lid, and those little cute towels you hang like on the, you know, like for your hands that you hang on the stove
Yeah.
that have cute. I call them, but their Mud Pie is the brand, and they have little embroidered like
Yeah. Yeah.
with legs hanging
Right.
off for a
Yeah.
reindeer and stuff like that.
Right.
Don goes, "You have nothing fun on your list. I'm not going to keep getting you hand towels." And I'm like,
Yeah.
but babe, I just won't buy it for myself. He goes, "It's $12. Buy it for yourself."
Yeah.
You know?
Right.
But he's like, can you not pick something fun? I just want to get you something fun. I'm like, you're always good with the fun stuff. Just whatever you think I need, you know. But it was just so funny because I'm so practical. And he's like, why don't you just get that for yourself? Like, get you a new cookie pan. It's fine, you know.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
Don't make me buy
anyway,
you a cookie pan as a gift.
yeah, it's just, and I'm just practical that way. Like I just cookie
Yeah.
pans, hand towels, new pots and pans. I'm just totally practical, and I'm probably like Rhonda. Just don't buy a lot for myself, you know. I mean, I will do it, but it's just a difference
Yeah,
of two people.
we're both that way, and probably have gotten more so as we've gotten older, for sure. You know,
Yeah.
because it's just I don't know. Now some stuff just seems stupid and stupid
Yeah.
and foolish, you know. But
Well, I was thinking,
I'm like Don though. I would get the cool stuff. Probably more than well, you know, we got to define cool. Because Rhonda, there'll be some stuff that she thinks is cool. You know, she sews. She loves
Yeah.
to sew. So where you're focused on cooking, she's going to be focused on sewing or
Right.
creating something
right.
around sewing. And so there'll be things that she thinks are cool that I'm like, well, that doesn't seem cool at all. But
Yeah.
it's sewing, you know. So what do I know about it?
Don did something really cool for me. He knows. So those of you that don't know me, I've got the four grandkids, and they're 3, 4, 5, and 6. So the 3 and 5-year-old are the little girls that my youngest son, that's a police officer, has. The 4 and 6 are my daughters, 2 boys. And they're rambunctious as heck, right? So, but I love doing stuff with the grandkids. Just anything. It doesn't have to be expensive. Just anything. Trekking around the land when they come up, or just doing arts and crafts with them, things like that.
And her
And
daughter's
one year-
an HR professional in city government too, by the way. So
Yeah, exactly.
you know, so we've got city government. We got city government leadership in the family here. So
We do.
I don't
We
think
do.
people know that.
Yeah, Haley's an HR director down in Burnett, Texas, and then Donnie's actually he's not in city government, but he is in an emergency room. He's an EMT for the emergency room. And then Brandon is my police officer in the city of Carrollton, Texas, near Dallas. But Don one year, and I haven't used him yet, but he finds the coolest thing. So when you talk about gadgets. It's like a gadget for a grandma, you know.
Mm-hmm.
He got little tiny, he loves supporting small business one, and he loves supporting veterans. So during COVID, he found a story of a dad that had gotten, I think, laid off and started his own little business. And he made these little tiny like little tiny things, like little stoves that you light
Mm-hmm.
for doing marshmallows. And they're little tiny, like maybe, I don't know, 3 inches tall and about 3 inches. You know, they're just little tiny, and you light them and then you can cook marshmallows over them. So it's like a little bonfire.
Yeah.
And it's the coolest thing. And
cool.
if I remember right, they look like wood on the outside.
Anything miniature, I'm all about it.
Yeah. And it was the coolest thing.
Miniatures. Yeah.
He's like, you could do it inside with the girls, and it's like cooking over a campfire, but for little ones, right? And so he did that. And then he just gets me these little cool things to do with the grandkids, whether it's gingerbread houses or things like that. And I thought that was one of the gifts. I was like, that is so cool. We just got to get them up there during the cold, right? To be able to do that. I think he got them for me last year. So those kind of things are fun for me. But did you do anything? We talked about a lot of personal. How about, I know you were private sector in your business. Did you guys do just traditional like bonuses and stuff, or how'd you engage the employees during the holidays when that's your busiest time?
Yeah, I would give I would give employees, you know, kind of gift bags and things, and that's where I would get more like Don, try to find something cool.
Yeah. Did you get them all the same things because of the volume of employees? Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. You know, I didn't want. Well, I say that. I remember one year I gave, and you can Google this, taxi wallets.
Taxi wallets?
A taxi wallet. Yeah. It's a, let's see if I've got one right here. I think I do. Okay, this is a taxi wallet.
Well, that's cool.
And so I gave the women red ones, and I gave the guys black ones.
Do they open both sides?
It opens, and you know, so you
nice.
So you put bills in two places. It's got a thing for coins or whatever, and then the center of it opens for credit cards and things. Anyway,
if you're watching, he's showing it to you.
Yeah,
if you're listening, you're not going to see it.
It's real leather. The principal of a rep firm gave me one years and years ago. And I mean, I did this 20 years ago. I mean, that's how old this thing is.
So this taxi wallet, Randy described, it doesn't open like a traditional wallet from the side. You hold it up and the flaps go up.
Yeah, and it's got a snap.
Yep.
You know, but it's called the original taxi wallet.
That's awesome. It's got nice stitching on the inside. It's really, and I love that it opens in the middle, like when you push it open.
For credit cards.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Because it's just easy.
I have never heard of such a thing, but it's really cool looking.
Yeah, so I gave, you know, one of the last years that I was doing it, I gave those. But yeah, pretty much everything was the same. I might have done something a little bit different, you know, for my direct reports.
Yeah.
Now that I think about it, books were always a big deal, which I know people were like, "Oh, great, here we go."
Yeah.
But I did it anyway.
Sure.
Yeah, and I would, you know, gift cards and that kind of stuff. The biggest part of the employee group were commissioned salespeople, so
sure
they were gonna. It was all performance based pay.
Yeah.
So bonus kind of stuff, probably less so.
It was kind of fun here. Up as I've moved up in the city manager's office, they do a lot of stuff around any holiday or any celebratory time. They make it really simple and easy, and I call it cost efficient. Sometimes no cost. So, for instance, this week, and you can participate if you want. There's no pressure that everybody has to do something, but they sent out, which I thought was nice. There was a couple things they did. They sent out, it was the week before. So last week we did all this, and they gave a list. They said it's for this pre-holiday week. And this is our second floor city hall only. They did like Monday is Christmas colors day. So you can wear anything with Christmas colors. Tuesday was a Christmas sweater day, for instance, and Wednesday might have been accessory day. So the men could wear, and they did. Some of them had the scarves, that men wear with their jackets and stuff. And or they might have had a hat that's Christmas, whatever. And then what we did on Thursday was a mug exchange, which I've never done. And they said there's no limit. It's any mug, unwrapped, stuff the mug with whatever you want, and then put tissue so you can't see it, right? Okay. And that was fun. And then they did a story of right left. So everybody starts with your mug, and then as they read it, and Santa went right, and got there, and then the reindeer went left, and then they left the house again, and then they went right to the next house. It was that kind of thing, and you're passing the mugs, and wherever the story ends is the mug you get. So that was kind of fun.
Oh, okay, I got you.
You see what I'm saying? Yeah, you just pass it as they read. It's a story that uses right, left, not just turning right, but Santa was right. Mrs. Claus was not.
So every time you mention right or left, it's moving right or left.
That's correct.
Until you get to the end of the story. How do you determine the end of the story?
Well, as they're reading it, she wrote it, just a story.
Okay, so
and then
it just improvising ends. As you go.
No, she had a pre-written story, and you can pull them off the internet, but it sounds like she kind of just wrote one.
Yeah, okay.
And it was really fun. So everybody got some. Some of them had, some mugs just had candy in them. Some mugs had a $15 gift card with other stuff.
Yeah.
And it was just fun because they were all different kinds of mugs. Like I did a travel mug for people instead of just a Christmas mug. And they loved it because I put cash inside it. I just stuck cash right in the middle with candy.
Who doesn't
and
love
so
that?
It was just fun. It's something simple to do. And if you didn't want to participate, you could still join in and just sit there. But pretty much everybody that came participated. So it was super easy, pretty inexpensive, not hard to fill it.
Right.
It didn't take but 10 minutes.
Yeah.
Don actually enjoyed going. We went to Walmart and just, I said, what would a guy, because we have a lot of guys. I said, what would a guy like? Because probably a lot of the women are going to get women geared looking mugs.
Right.
And so that's when he said, let's just get a red travel mug. Everybody, it's just red, no Christmas things on it. And that's what we did. Yeah. So, but it was kind of fun. And I'm hoping
speaking of mugs.
Yeah.
And right here.
Can't see it.
These are mugs where I'm pointing. These are mugs. Hang on.
Okay, yeah, they look like little statues.
Yeah, forget all this crap behind me that you're going to see when I get up.
So this is the benefit, audience, of watching versus listening, because now he's showing us. It's show and tell now. So they're big mugs. They look very small. They're like clay mugs.
So these are.
Oh, that's fantastic. It's like a clay face that's been carved, and it's 3-dimensional with a mustache and a nose and hair. That's amazing. They look like forest gnomes.
Yeah, they are.
Where did you get? I'm sure there's some famous artist, huh?
They are. They are. And then I stumble bummed on this one. It's not by the same. It's not the same guy.
Oh, it's not. It looks very similar.
Yeah, it does, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does.
These are.
It's kind of like Ray Dunn for us women and they try to replicate it.
Yeah, these were.
Those I love those, Randy.
Yeah, the name escapes me, but those first ones were made by a gentleman who passed away. His son still does it, and I found him on the internet. I stumbled onto those things in a thrift store in Arkansas. Yeah. They weren't cheap. They weren't terribly expensive, but I don't know. They were like $40 a piece
at the thrift store. Okay, yeah. So somebody knew their value.
But I'm like, okay, I got to have those. I mean, they're too unique. So
yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, so the Yellow Studio's got those. So when you mention mugs, I'm like, okay, well, I got to show these things off. So
yeah, it's always fun to do. That would have been great to do something like that too. That's just unique. But you have to appreciate it. It has to be a person that would get it and appreciate it, and not go, right. What the heck am I going to do with that?
Yeah, that's
right?
Exactly right. That's exactly right. But that's a cool thing. And of course, in city government, and all of you guys listening, I mean, we all know that. I mean, there's budget constraints, and so you got to get creative. And
yeah,
But I think it's mostly about fun and camaraderie, and
it's just about the spirit,
it's
spirit
not,
of Christmas,
it's not
and
about,
it's
well,
not
this
can't be hard.
This sucks. What I got,
Yeah.
I mean,
Exactly. It was just kind of fun to do, and they come up with something different every year, so it's not repetitive. The ladies that support us, which are hugely valuable, it's the administrative staff. They always come up with it, post it, communicate it, and it's just fun and inexpensive. And isn't that truly what the holiday spirit's about? It doesn't have to cost anything.
That's right.
And if you can't do it, there shouldn't be pressure to do it. We never understand another person's financial situation, but you can always tell if there's participation. Camaraderie is pretty good. If there's a lot of people not, that's something to observe and watch for and make better over time. But it was fun. And then Cheryl, she's always so creative. Cheryl is my boss and the deputy city manager. She took her direct reports to lunch. So we all went to lunch, and she had gift bags, and she called it gift bag roulette, because you just have to go pick a bag. She put different weights in each bag. So, you can't
Right.
judge it by the weight of the bag.
Yeah.
And then you draw a bag, and you can decide before you open it if you want to trade. Right. So it's like, we had one of my reports, Jason, I was like, Jason, you going to trade that? He goes, no, I'm feeling good. I'm feeling good about the bag.
Yeah.
So it was just kind of like, no, I'm going to keep it. And then our airport director's like, come on, Keshnell, come on, trade with me. And Keshnell's like, nope, I think I'm going to keep this bag. And he's like, you might not, you don't know what's in your bag. He goes, you don't know what's in yours.
Right.
So they were having good, solid debate on it.
Yeah.
And you open it up, and she had, different value of gift cards.
Right.
So I thought that was kind of clever. You might get a $15, you might get a $30, you might get a $10,
Right.
and then it had just, candy and stuff.
Right.
So I thought that was pretty clever, but gift bag roulette, it was pretty cute. So easy to do. But overall, I think, Randy, you and I just wanted to wish everybody and our listeners a very, very Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, Happy Hanukkah. It doesn't matter what you celebrate and enjoy. We hope the holiday season for the rest of this calendar year is enjoyable. You get some rest, relaxation, some valuable time with family, friends, or just peace and quiet if that's what you like. But thank you for your support for all of us throughout the year. Thank you for your ideas that help us create show content. And really, we hope you just have a really nice time off, even if it's just a few days.
Thanks for watching and listening to Grow Great, a city government leadership podcast. For Lisa Norris, I'm Randy Cantrell. Be well, do good, grow great. The website is growgreat.com.